So in this segment, we're going to be reacting to some of Keir Starmer's comments, which I think are just really just shocking stuff here. He's saying the UK is recruiting too many people from overseas into the NHS. It's absolutely ridiculous, the statements he makes here, so we'll have a listen.
Borders, freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back. So that means fair rules, firm rules, a point system. What I would like to see is the numbers go down in some areas. I think we're recruiting too many people from overseas into, for example, the health service. But on the other...
He's going to get corrected a bit by the host of this show, but we do have a massive chronic shortage of healthcare workers in the NHS across the board. So for him to make this statement shows he has no idea what he's talking about.
On the other hand, if we need high-skilled people in innovation in tech to set up factories, etc., then I would encourage that. So
this idea that healthcare workers aren't high-skilled is ridiculous. And
I don't think there's an overall number here. Some areas we need to go down, other areas we need to go up.
The whole problem with the health service is that it's got a crisis of staffing.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we were able to set out at our conference just a few weeks ago in Liverpool how many more people, 7,500 new people, recruit into and train into the health service from here, training people in. And we explained how we would cost that.
Well, certainly.
So it's important. So if you look at the framing here, he says from here. Now, I don't know if he means specifically from Liverpool or from the UK, because he says from here. I'm assuming he might mean Liverpool. And we'll talk about why that's an issue, but he explains it's costed. And he throws that in because he doesn't want anyone to throw the accusation of Labour have these unfunded, policies and stuff. But if we have a look at, nursing times here, saying the NHS faces 38,000 nurse shortage, even if the government hits its recruitment target of 50,000 nurses. So even if we recruit 50,000 more nurses, we're still 40,000 short according to Nursing Times. So effectively, we are by 2023, depending on how the numbers go, we are dramatically short. So him talking about 7,500 from Liverpool, that's great. That's great. But unless you can find around 90,000 nurses, or at least if someone can't find 90,000 nurses by around 23, 24, we still have a shortage of nurses, a dramatic shortage. So his argument of, we can just train people here, it's not going to be enough. 7,500 from Liverpool, great. Unless you get, decent, those sorts of numbers from each of the major cities in and around the UK, you're going to face trouble.
The experience in Scotland seems to be that people just aren't applying to train. There are places that are vacant that are being funded by the Scottish Government for midwifery and nursing that can't be filled because people just don't want to join the NHS.
Well, and that's just nursing, isn't it? This is just nurses. It's not about the broader shortage of healthcare workers that we have. Him talking about midwifery, that's a good point. There's a shortage of midwives as well. That's a whole different thing. So great, you found 7,500 people in Liverpool. You gonna solve the other shortages? Did you find a few hundred GPs as well? Back of the sofa? What's going on here?
So if we can't get them from here, where do we get them from?
Well, we certainly need to drive those numbers across the whole of the United Kingdom, and those numbers can go up, and I think they should go up, and we need funded places to drive them up. But of course, one of the reasons...
Funded again, talking about, the fact that it's costed and all that stuff.
That the NHS is struggling is because it's such hard work. The conditions are so hard because the NHS has been run down. My wife...
That's true. He's right there that, conditions are really difficult. So that means that it creates like a negative effect of nurses constantly being short-staffed on each shift, which makes them wonder, I think, why they're carrying on like this. Why carry on in this job?
My wife works in the NHS, so this is a daily conversation about how tough it is in her hospital. It's really tough conditions. We need a long-term plan. All we get...
What does she tell you the problem with the NHS is? What does she think the solution is?
We haven't got enough people. We haven't got enough people.
But you don't want to use immigration as a solution for that?
Well, I think that we should be training...
I mean, realistically, we should be. We should be getting in people and also training people domestically. You can argue, we can use immigration to top up the shortage we have, but the problem is we have such a chronic shortage now that you need a dramatic influx of people to resolve the shortage. And then you can look at long-term training and all of these kind of things, because right now we're in big trouble. This man, we've got a bullet wound, and this man saying stick a plaster on it, you'll be fine. It's ridiculous. All this to placate, people on the right and people in the red wall. It's so shameless.
People in this country. Of course, we need some immigration, but we need to train people in this country. What we've done...
And no one's saying we're not going to train people in this country, but the simple fact is there aren't the people. You can't just force people into nursing. I'll be like, you there, kid, what do you want to be when you're older? It's like, I want to be, an archaeologist. Like, no, you're going to be a nurse. You there, kid, what do you want to be in the future? You're a nurse. You're going to be a midwife, you're going to be a GP, etc. You can't force people into these roles. These people aren't going to magically appear. If the money is better and the training is better funded, sure, you might get more people, definitely. But you're not going to potentially not get, the what must be over 100,000 healthcare workers that we need in this country. You're going to struggle, big boy, to get those numbers.
This is an absolute classic of this Tory government, is short-term fixes, plasters over problems, never a long-term solution. And we go round and round in circles.
Where's your long-term solution, big boy? You barely offered anything. You said we're going to train people from here. Where are you going to get the numbers from?
Every year we have a winter crisis. Here in Scotland, we've got, 1 in 7 people on the waiting list. That is a total failure of the government here in Scotland.
Again, they get the funding from central government. They can't fix that. Him blaming the SNP for this now is just so stupid. I mean, this man's a moron. And also my comment about him being in Liverpool, evidently he's not. But yeah, it's just, what is this man on?
7 people in Scotland on a waiting list. That is a statistic that ought to be sort of pinned up there on every little billboard across the whole of Scotland. It's totally unacceptable. Well, we don't want...
Sorry, him blaming the Tories for it. I mean, madness. I mean, 7,500 people. It's not going to dent. It's not going to dent this, is it? Because if they're saying, if Nursing Times saying, even if we get 50,000 more nurses, we'll still be short 40,000. And you're talking about 7,500. You're talking peanuts, pal. You're talking peanuts. You ain't got the numbers. You're not going to be able to get the people from. You're not going to get enough people in this country to go into nursing. And then you still got factors of people retiring, people quitting for other reasons, maybe for personal reasons, etc. I don't know how much of that's factored into the analysis the Nursing Times have done here. But Starmer's kind of solutions for this are just stupid. Him trying to placate the red wall and other people on the right, it's just dumb. It's just so stupid. If I were him, I'd say, yeah, we are going to have to recruit more people from overseas because at the end of the day, people aren't getting seen. He talks about the wait times, 1 in 7 on a waiting list, etc. I'll say, look, the simple fact is we either increase immigration for healthcare workers or these wait times continue to skyrocket. Why would you not fight this on your terms when it's an easy win here? Oh yeah, what do you want? Less foreign people. It's going to take you longer to get seen by a healthcare worker. Is that what you want? Is anyone going to be like, actually, yes, if my healthcare worker isn't white, I don't want to get seen by anyone. You get like the very rare person who will say that, but when you're in A&E, I don't think you really care who the person is that's looking after you, as long as they're qualified. So this whole thing about him saying, "Oh, we could just train people here. Why don't we just do that? I'm such a genius. Why don't the Tories think of that?" Yeah, through better funding, you will get more people, but you won't get enough people. I guarantee you that. So what he's arguing is just ridiculous. This man. People are going to say, watch this video and see me being very critical of him and say, "Oh, you're helping the Tories, man. Do you want the Tories to win, man?" It's like, no, I want Labour to have better policies. So if this is what it takes being mean to him, I'll be mean to him all day, because I want a Labour Party that's actually competent and isn't going to throw bloody foreigners under a bus, especially when you come out with a statement, the UK is recruiting too many people from overseas into the NHS. What a ludicrous statement. And you see there are a lot of kind of very pro-Labour channels on YouTube. Are they going to cover this? Are they going to criticise Starmer for these comments? Wait and see, because this article is from day of recording, which is the 6th of the 11th. I've seen some people saying, "Oh, it's very normal for us to kind of top up immigration with foreign labour, but top up kind of nursing numbers with foreign labour, but you really want to get the domestic population to fill up those numbers predominantly," which, okay, I guess, but the problem is we have a chronic shortage. We have a huge shortage, tens of thousands potentially. So I'm rambling a bit, but this just really frustrates me, the fact that he's happy to throw people under the bus here, foreign people under the bus here, because he's trying to placate to people that, if you don't want a medical worker, a healthcare worker from another country looking after you, I'm sorry, but there's something wrong with you. If they're qualified, as long as you can explain to them what the problems are, as long as the language barrier is not a problem, I really don't care. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Starmer? Do you agree somewhere in between? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.